Anna Delvey was eliminated from Dancing with the Stars. And in this big moment, you have the glitz and the ballroom and the correspondence and the outfits and the whole thing. And you have the correspondent in the moment saying to her, what will you take from your experience being on Dancing with the Stars? She literally stone cold replies, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What are you going to take away from this competition?
Nothing.
Instantly iconic. I hope that in the reality TV series that is American politics, this isn't our takeaway. Our takeaway from the big picture, namely the upcoming election. Because let me tell you, the clown shit is persisting with these people, okay? The circus continues. We're going to talk about today Biden's cabinet meeting. We're going to talk about Trump being Trump. And we're going to talk about Chappell Roan yet again coming out of the woodwork with her big political revelation, which honestly, I don't even understand why it's news to begin with. Right here on Talk to Me, Taylor.
Deemed the celebrity whisperer by Playboy.
This is the best interview of the day.
Thanks for having me.
You hit the nail on the head.
100%.
Period, yeah.
Touch them. You're cracking me up.
Wear them, baby.
This is good.
Taylor Ferber.
Some of you viewers may remember a couple of months ago, I had the pleasure of interviewing some of the contestants of Amazon Prime's latest reality TV competition series, The Go, right? Where basically you have everyone from newcomers to vets and OGs in reality TV. I'm talking FBoy Island, The Bachelor, Amazing Race, all this, whatever, you name it, duking it out to be deemed the king or queen of reality TV. You know as well as I that you have to outshame. You have to outshame Snooki face planning and eating shit on the beach. You have to outshame the early days of the real world where nothing, like literally where everybody stopped being polite and start being real, okay? These days, it just, there is no limit. The limit does not exist. And I actually asked the people I interviewed a guy from The Bachelor, a girl from FBoy Island, and I think one or two other people. And I actually asked them this very question, right? Like, to what end? Because everything is a viral moment. Nobody gives any fucks. Nobody has any dignity or self-respect anymore, especially in the name of the game that is reality TV. You know what I mean? Like, again, Snooki walked so the rest of you fuckers could run. And I asked him, like, it just feels like the Olympics of out-shaming each other. To what end? To what end? Like, people will stop at nothing. They will go to any length to have their hawk to a moment. They all laughed, you know, obviously acknowledge that this indeed is real. People, is this not the state of affairs in American politics? Like I said, it literally, we are watching a reality TV show right before our eyes. And I know that on this show, I often ponder and joke, are we in a simulation? Are we in the Matrix? Is the big guy upstairs just kind of, you know, getting off with his Nintendo Switch, watching us all fumble around, looking like a bunch of idiots? If the time ever happened for that scenario, it is now. Because we see the leader, potential leaders, most powerful people of the free world acting up and, like I said, just really out-clowning themselves. And I need to know if reality TV is blurring with reality, and when will it end and how far will it go? First up is Biden's cabinet meeting that he held late last week, okay? This guy. And in case you were wondering, okay, he straight up came out of the grave like the long-lost love interest in Hocus Pocus, had to get the yarn ripped out of his mouth just like that guy to reemerge, you know, crack some knuckles, crack some bones, and make this happen. First cabinet meeting since October 2023. So he is indeed, he's breathing, he's blinking, he's alive and well. Yes, everybody, you're president of the United States. Okay, can confirm. So what happens? But he gives a few opening remarks. You know, like, it's sad. It is a sad state when this guy holds his first cabinet meeting in about a year, and his remarks are basically shorter than an opening monologue of an award show. Okay, which also is shameless and knows no bounds, right? And has no self-awareness in this life. Does a few opening remarks, and then what happens? Kicks it off to his wife, Jill Biden, to just take over, who spoke for more than double the amount of time, gave the agenda, gave the syllabus, gave the PowerPoint presentation. He literally says to her, you know, it's all yours, kid. You take it over.
So I'd like to turn it over to Jill and for any comments she has, and it's all yours, kid.
Thank you. You know, sometimes the White House surprises you.
This lady's sitting at the head of the table, calling the shots. Like, she is the commander. I just need to know, like, who is running the show here? Who is running the ship? You have the president of the United fucking States pass it off to his wife. Like, sweetie, this isn't Thanksgiving. This isn't Christmas with the Cranes, okay? This is a cabinet meeting with the president of the United States, okay? And some of the most influential, powerful people of highest stature in our government. Passes it off to Joe Biden, and he's just sitting back in nap time, in insomnia state, while she just goes off. Like, what? It's all yours, kid. Take it over. This isn't Little League practice. What are we even saying right now? So the craziest thing, couple things about this, okay? Couple things, again, about this clownery, about this fuckery, is number one, okay? These cabinet members had the audacity, had balls the size of Alaska, to, on the heels of this meeting, have the nerve to literally say things like, he has been an exceptionally effective as president. He is one of the most, and I quote people, okay, Google it, one of the most accomplished presidents in history. My favorite, though, this is the kicker of the trifecta. Honestly, you could laugh or you cry. You could laugh or you cry. That's what we're kind of like watching reality TV play out, right? Like, you don't even know what you're watching. You're dumbfounded. I don't even know what to do with this, like, sad state of humanity and the degeneracy right now. And then he's still fit to be president, and it shows. And he's showing it every day. Guys, simple question here. Look, I'm not going to go into the weeds and mythbusters of if this is true, if this isn't true. All it takes is a pair of eyes, a pair of ears, maybe even one ear, I don't care, and I don't know, 3 functioning brain cells, okay, to ask yourself, if he is all these things, if he is the mover of mountains, if he is the parter of the Red Sea, if he is walking on water, okay, like J-Man himself, why did you guys stage a coup to literally replace him and kick him out? Like, this is the nastiest sorority hazing of your lives. So if, like, honestly, if he's still so bad, 5 minutes ago, you guys were all going on a tirade about how he needs to be replaced immediately, about how he shit the bed in the debate with Trump, about how you guys would have been fucked with a capital F if he was the presidential nominee. Now suddenly he's the most history-making president in history. One question: how stupid do you guys think that we are? Maybe you literally do. And you know what? Maybe this is the fault of reality TV and TikTok rotting our brains, because you guys really think we're that fucking stupid. So they can't both be true. What is it? What is it? Secondly, okay, is the whole idea of him passing this off to Joe Biden. Now, let me just tell you something, a little like kind of fun segue story into this again, and just the state of nonsensical sort of shenanigans going on here, okay? Did you guys see the recent clip of Joe Biden giving this sort of like inebriated, incoherent love letter speech to Hillary Clinton? I don't know, honestly, what I even witnessed, okay? He was accepting the Global Citizen Award, and he turns to Hillary and literally is like, Jill knows, like, just the way you stand up for me, this, that, like, I love you.
Hillary, I want to thank you, and I maybe shouldn't do this publicly, but thank you personally for the way you have helped me, the way you've spoken up for me with such passion. I can't tell you. You can ask Jill. Anyway, I love you. I love you.
What is this? Like, are you trying to revive some, like, Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky threesome crazy, like, you know, taboo kinky shit from the 90s? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what is this? It's like so awkward, so cringe. And Hillary Clinton is just sitting there like with a fake shed tear. Honestly, give her the Golden Globe, give her the Oscar, because again, all of these people planned for your untimely and early demise, pal. It's honestly, it might as well been a cheesy rose ceremony in The Bachelor that we all know is fake. It's like, you've known this person for 5 minutes. You're crying in the corner. Like, I hate goodbyes like this. Babe, you've known them for 3 minutes. And same thing with this. It's like, literally, she is like plotting for you to get the fuck out of there. And so now you like, just all around cringe, right? But even the idea of women in power, because some people might have seen this as like, oh, what a cool move, like for the president to not be presidenting, no, but for the president to pass it off to Jill to take the reins and pass the torch, you know, for whatever fucking reason, right? And so let me be clear, because I've said this a lot about Kamala Harris as well. If you roll with the show, you know, roll with or roll out, you know, I love to see women in power, and not in a woke, PC, cheesy, yeah, quota bullshit. Like real women who are forces of nature and power players, right? Like, just hands us up. We basically manipulate everything in the house, in the office, and you fuckers don't even know. We make you think that it's your idea, right? So just like, let us take over and get the job done. Like, make shit happen. And so I love to see that. However, what I don't love to see is the obligatory participation trophy. Sorry, I love to see women in these positions. Absolutely. Again, let us run the show. Maybe it'll be a little bit less of a circus, honestly. Like, maybe you'll have less elephant shit going around and more acrobatic, you know, awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping beauty, you know? But even this, it's like, okay, earn it. I don't want to see someone just being passed because it's, you know, the nepotism, or because she's a woman, or because of her race, or this, that, or the other thing. Actually earn it, bitch. Like, roll up the sleeves, put a little, you know, elbow grease in, and let's get the shit done. So I feel like that's something that's getting very much lost in the sauce. Again, very much in this circus of just women being handed these roles. It's like, absolutely not. And you know, it's funny, because when I thought about this, think about some of the most powerful women in our culture. I know I bring up this example a lot, and people brag on her for this, but even think about Kim Kardashian. Now, people could say, oh, she earned it, what, by putting her whole puss out on the internet, like before it was all the rage, like Pam and Tommy who? With her sex tape. Oh yeah, she really earned it, right? But when you think about it, you can't knock that this bitch is literally one of the most richest, influential, powerful women in the world, right? Influencing not only how people, you know, act and what they do and their lifestyle, but even up in the White House, bitch. Literally. And so, you know, even when you think about like reform and what she did during the Trump presidency and all that, right? So you can't argue that. And the fact that sure, maybe she blew up. I wish that she actually would own the sex tape thing, because she always acts like, you know, I actually had Joe Francis, the creator of Girls Gone Wild, who's a friend of mine, on my show, who's tight with the Kardashians and definitely was back then, who low-key took the credit for basically orchestrating that whole thing and like putting that shit on the map, you know, flying off the shelves like hotcakes, literally. And I kind of wish she would own a little more, she acts like, she was exploited and all this and that, because look at taking something like that. And sure, it's like that could be shameless in and of itself. Sure. But taking something like that, and that is, not the most reputable way. Okay. How's that for PC and for being diplomatic? Okay. And turning it into a, billion-dollar empire.
That's why I'm introducing a brand new bra with a built-in nipple. So no matter how hot it is, you'll always look cold.
That's not on just frivolous, fluff, stupid shit, right? That's genius marketing, business, money making. I mean, you can't knock that shit. I'm just saying. And so taking it a step further, because we have this contrast with the whole, again, like pouring your heart out in sympathy that Biden did with Hillary Clinton. I was thinking about women in power and men in power too, just a quick little sidebar, right? But even say you look at it, I had this conversation over the weekend, right? And this is something where power both validates and plays into this, but also kind of pushes up against this notion. But the idea that what's attractive most about women to men is beauty, and what's attractive most about men to women is power. So what happens when you blur those lines, right? And again, that could be argued. That's another show for another day. Like I said, I think there are some truths. I think there's, modernization that we don't take into account. But I'm talking like way back in the caveman days, bitch, okay? And, what happens when you blur those lines? And is that always, a tried and true thing? Are there truths in it? And like, so even say in pop culture, I even did a little Google search, most powerful women in culture, most powerful women in American culture, right? And so when you have entertainment media, you have people like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, where these talk about power. You want to cross them? Never mind them. You want to cross their PR teams? Let me know how that goes for you. Like, send me a letter, send me a carrier pigeon, send me a postcard, right? If these bitches, they have the resources, they have the pull. If they want to make something happen, they'll make it happen. Look at Taylor Swift. Talked about the election. Let's go around. Got 30,000 new registered voters. But they're also very beautiful, right? And then you look at women, again, another piece of thing. Every woman's beautiful in their own way, yada, yada, yada. Okay, glad we got that out of the way. But say we look at, people who aren't as conventionally beautiful or a little older, the Hillary Clintons. Again, regardless of how I feel about Hillary, and I would never want to cross her ever, like, she's a powerful woman. She knows her shit. She gets shit done. Obviously, like I said, do you want to cross her? I don't. Okay. You have people like Melinda Gates, Abigail Johnson, again, who are, super, super powerful, but maybe, but it's again, like when you fuse the two, I just think it takes that shit up many notches, and then you think about even men too, even that kind of challenges, right? It's like, okay, so say, the sex symbol in power. So like, is Elon Musk considered sexy by most standards? I don't know. Maybe too, like maybe an aspy guy with a cigar who gives no fucks and just says what he thinks and is sending rockets into space makes your lady rocket excited. I mean, I don't know, Jeff Bezos and all of his baldness, or Bill Gates, even people like, Trump is super powerful. Biden, I don't even know if you call that powerful. I don't even know. Zuck, right? In all of his alien non-blinking ways. And so again, not, in my opinion, not the sort of conventional view of super, but super sex symbol-y. But maybe to some, but think about when you bring the two together, it's like, holy shit, my ovaries just exploded. My mind just expanded into the abyss. And so it's just something to think about. It's like, okay, why does it again have to be one or the other? Someone said to me the other day, it was so funny. And they were like, Washington is Hollywood for ugly people, but that's actually changing. And you have people, again, like the AOCs who are super theatrical and, better looking per se and pleasing to the eye and all this. And it's going to, the two are going to sort of merge. But, I thought that was really interesting, something to just kind of think about, right? When you think about like the respective, like we've sort of like put it in this box again of like, oh, you're respected and you're powerful and maybe you're not the most good looking, but you have the brains. But again, if you add the sex symbol component to it, it's like Jesus fucking Christ, like just blow us into the stratosphere we're done. Like power overload, right? And I feel like that goes, just to kind of close this little bit, I feel like that goes personally for both men and women, right? Like if you have a Brad Pitt with the brains of an Elon Musk, goodbye, I resign, you never heard of me, you will never hear from me again. Case in point.
Never see this face again.
Next up, we have Trump. Trumping Trump and his shenanigans, okay? Because again, none of these people are free from the actions, from the prisons of their own minds and the ridiculous shit that they do, okay? None of them are guilt-free. So there was just two really funny videos of Trump that just caught my eye and were really just hilarious. So one that you may have seen is where he is speaking and he leaves to go visit a child Trump supporter with a brain disorder and gives him a present, right? And of course you have conservatives being, it's a very nice thing. You have conservatives being like, you know, oh my God, this is a stuff the media will never show you, da da da. But my favorite part of this, and let's not forget the man, the face of The Apprentice, the reality show that went on for years and has a stamp legacy in reality TV. Like, babe, you can take the man out of reality TV, but you can't take the reality TV out of him, okay? So he's giving this little boy, he's walking up to the little boy with this box. He literally says, he's like, this is the best present that you will ever have. This is the best present that you will ever get in your life. You know, his parents are probably sitting there like, well, fuck us. We've only like saved up our whole lives, you know, to give him an epic NASCAR race car Christmas gift this year. But okay, no, but just so funny, right? It's like a little box. It's like, what's in there? $500,000? Like, this is the best gift because it comes from me, Mr. Trump. Best gift you will ever get in your life, little boy.
I'm supposed to be in that stage, but that doesn't matter. Because I got you the best present you'll ever have. This is the best present you'll ever have. How are you, Bob? Hi, Mom. Okay, honey, this is yours. And in there is real good stuff. Okay? So beautiful. Thank you. See, look at that. Look at these great photographers. And we're going to have that picture of our life, okay? You and I. Is she going to come out and watch me?
Of course.
Because I left the stage in order to come and say hello to him.
How special you are.
Okay, honey? So beautiful. So you take care of Mom and Dad? Is that your sister, right?
Takes care of us a lot right here.
So why don't you do this? Take care of yourselves. Okay, I'm going to go right after you.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself, honey, okay? I wish I looked like that. If I looked like that, I'd be president.
But then the way it is so funny and so shameless, like literally making it all about him, like, because it makes a whole photo op, may as well be like a Victoria's Secret fashion show, does a whole photo op with the box that says Trump on it, with the little kid, like posing perfectly, doing a whole thing, gutting the angles, making sure the photographers get it. Like, no. Like, I just need to make sure that my good Samaritan ways are being documented, that they will live in history, that they will be in the history books until the end of time, right? Just so iconic. But then my favorite part is at the very end, again, as if this isn't shameless enough, Trump literally says to the parents, he's like, is he going to come? He's going to come and watch me, right? Is he going to come and watch me? Because, you know, I left the stage to come say hi to him. Like, how classic. It's like a little kid at their ballet recital. Like, Mom, you're not gonna go and miss my number, right? Like, literally, it is your 5th grade play. It is your debut in aforementioned softball. And it's like, don't miss me pitching, Mom. I can't. To the little boy, okay? Classic. Just like, what? It's just perfect. It's just perfect. Like, leave it to Trump to want to get attention from the little, like, 9-year-old boy with a brain disorder and, like, make it about him. Trump. Perfect. The other one is that Trump released a coin, and he did this limited edition coin and all it represents and blah, blah, blah. But my favorite thing is he's like, it has my very beautiful face on it. Yes, you know, my face is very beautiful face. Like, he couldn't help himself, but he, like, thinks he's being self-deprecating, and he's not. And he's like, oh, no, I'm only kidding. Oh, no, you shouldn't have. Oh, no, me, no. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. No, I don't have a beautiful face. It's like, I can't. First of all, it's so obvious he 100% thinks that. And it is just so obvious, like he had to throw that in there. It's like you actually like, you've been waiting for this moment. Okay. Your toupee's been fluffed, your tan has been sprayed, your veneers have been shined. Like you were waiting for this moment. But again, it's just like who says that, and just hilarious. And then on top of it, trying to act like, oh, I'm only kidding. Like my face beautiful. Oh, no, couldn't possibly. Like I just can't. Clown. Epic clown.
I've seen a lot of coins out there using my very beautiful face. I'm a very beautiful guy. I'm only kidding.
So lastly, in the genius PR of our time, this girl's PR team is giving the Sabrina Carpenter Horny Haven Fest PR team a run for their money, but Chappell Roan is a really hot up-and-coming singer right now that you didn't know 5 milliseconds ago, but now she's all we can ever hear about. I talked about her recently for going at it with a photographer at the VMAs, and now she's coming out speaking of political views, and who knows? I mean, everything is so orchestrated and carefully curated with these teams. I have a really hard time that this girl being on the up and up just went rogue, being like, well, here's what I think politically in such a heightened, divisive, like heated time. But, that's just the skeptic in me, okay? I've seen some shit. And basically she came out with a statement that was like, you know what, both sides are basically fucked. The policies are fucked, and I'm not going to settle for one side, and essentially think for yourself.
I don't agree with a lot of what is going on with, like, policies. Like, obviously, fuck the policies of the right, but also fuck some of the policies on the left. That's why I can't endorse. That's why I can't, like, put my entire name and my entire project behind one. Because there is no way I can stand behind some of the left's completely transphobic and completely genocidal views. So yeah, there are huge problems on both. You know what is right and wrong, and so do I. Fuck Trump for fucking real, but fuck some of the shit that has gone down in the Democratic Party that has failed people like me and you.
And it just sent the internet into a spiral. Again, like I said in the beginning, I don't even know why this is news. Like, obviously, yes. And while I don't agree with everything she says and why she backs it, I think she's a little bit misguided, but that's okay. Gen Z be like that sometimes. I at least give her the balls for coming out about this and saying this, right? Because it's like, no, she's Gen Z. She has to be an Olivia Rodrigo, basically giving a happy ending to Biden and giving out Plan B parenthood at her concerts, like, and be so like lefty, liberal, woke, right? But God forbid, she's like, no, I don't really know. Now she says, I'm not endorsing Kamala, but yes, I'm voting for Kamala. And that become a thing. And of course, right, it's like the obligatory, like, throw a bone to the left. But moreover, the fact that she got such shit for this is absolutely absurd, because again, it's just like common sense, like critical thinking. Of course, it's like, of course there are issues with both sides. Of course we're settling. So what, she's going to get the entire wrath because she wasn't immediately like scissoring with Kamala Harris? Give me a break. Who, by the way, in the aforementioned little segment about power, Time Magazine, also with audacity, had the nerve and the ball sacks to name Kamala Harris the 3rd most powerful woman in the world. Like, okay, guys, that's cute. So with all that said, right, we're seeing right now, when it comes to our real lives, when it comes to reality TV, when it comes to politics, it's all about teams, as we know. It's all about like my team versus your team. And we're seeing something really interesting happen, kind of in the same vein of the Chappell Roan sentiment, is we're seeing a really unlikely sort of coalition and collection of people join forces. Now, despite how you feel about Trump, it's really interesting to see. They've called it the Justice League, right? People who were former liberals, not too long ago, ran as Democratic nominees, right? People like Tulsi Gabbard. Talk about a powerful woman. Love Tulsi. Like Tulsi for Prez 2024. Is it not too late? Love that bitch. love her like Hawaii moment, love her vet status, love her white stripe. Like, let's go Tulsi all the way. Love her common sense. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., right? All coming together because in some way or another, it's almost like they're the outsiders, like they're the misfits and coming together in a super unlikely way. Like, who would have thunk it, right? That they're coming together now in support of Trump and Republicans because of just how crazy the other side has gone, who on the other end of that spectrum isn't letting anyone in, is actually so intolerant on the on the opposite side of that they will literally kick you out as far as the eye can see if you're not listing your pronoun like on your introductory name tag. Like, it's absurd, right? So I know that it's crazy because this is so long ago and we probably won't get back to this. Maybe we will. Maybe in light of what I just said, we will. But Abe Lincoln, actually, when he won the presidency, something that was super unprecedented is he made a cabinet essentially of his opponents and of his rivals. I mean, regardless of how you feel about him, he was politically genius, right? And he said things like, you know, the country is in complete peril right now. We need some of the strongest men, you know, and of course, some of it was self-serving, but also I do believe that some of it was to actually try to unify and come together and get shit done, right? So acknowledging that I may agree or disagree with them, you know, they may be my opponents, but these are people strong in their beliefs. These are strong-willed people. These are people who can lead. And the idea, which I think is really admirable, of bringing in strong thinkers with different opinions, you know, in an attempt to really kind of expand his own mind and push up against his own views. You know, again, regardless of how self-serving that was, I think that's really admirable. So all that to say, we may or may not be nearing toward a situation like that anytime in the near future. So until then, use your choice wisely. And in this game that is Survivor, American Idol, you know, the election, choose wisely, bitch, of who you will vote off the island.